Scarecrow sat on the roof of his hideout. He was handcuffed. Spoiler removed his mask, revealing Scarecrow's face. His face was thin. He had brown eyes and hair, and had glasses over his eyes.
Okay, Crane, who hired you?
Don't you have another quarry that demands your attention?
We can track Butcher down regardless.
His #1 source of intel here has just been recaptured and is right on their way to Arkham.
Spoiler added, sounding proud.
Batman must be terrified.
Scarecrow said, an amused smile on his face.
More worried about that than he is with you.
Scarecrow glared at Spoiler.
I'm asking you this once more. Who hired you?
You don't frighten me.
Batgirl grabbed Scarecrow by the throat, and as she prepared her other arm to punch him in the face.
No, but I feel Batgirl might be able to.
Just then they heard police sirens as the cop cars arrived. In one of the cars was Commissioner Gordon.
Let him go. We might be able to find something else here.
Nightwing told Batgirl and she released him. Scarecrow smiled smugly before Batgirl pushed him off the building. Scarecrow screamed, but he did not hit the ground. He hung upside down from a cable.
Get him down.
Nightwing went ahead to greet the police commissioner.
Hey there, Jim.
Good to see you, kid. I can't imagine you're all too happy here with Batman on that other Earth.
I can manage. We've been trying to find out who hired Scarecrow. We think he's been able to synthesize this compound V.
Gordon sighed and pinched the temple of his nose.
I was afraid of that. About an hour ago, we received a call from a landlord in Otisburg. A crow burned itself into her apartment building and almost caused an electrical fire. I'm willing to bet it might have been one of Crane's. That was just with a crow. Imagine if they start pumping their men with this stuff.
We'll make sure it's done for. Batman knows about this.
That's good news to hear. Of all the cities this stuff had to come to, it had to be ours.
Honestly, I think Gotham came to them first.
Nightwing grimly told him.
Yeah, I know, Joker. Do you have any ideas what that son of a bitch is up to? He's been quiet since that little prank of his. Too quiet for my liking.
I know, whatever he's up to, it can't be good. Especially with Compound V in the city.
God, I have a feeling that he has a sample right now.
Did you happen to come across William Butcher and his crew?
No, were they here?
Yes. Apparently they were likely trying to shut down Scarecrow's operation. Didn't work as well as they hoped. Milk, Campbell, and January were gassed by Scarecrow.
I've read the man's report. The man is making enemies left and right in this city. He's going to get other people hurt. They've already left a trail of carnage at the Iceberg Lounge.
I know. Which is why we need to find them quickly with all of this chaos going around.
You might want to see this and tell Dad about this.
Oracle interrupted.
What?
Dick asked. Barbara showed Nightwing the information. Nightwing sighed.
What is it, kid?
It's Joker. I think we've got a lead.
Back at the cauldron, Butcher watched Hughie and Annie as they huddled together on the sofa in the other room of their hideout. In the same room as him were MM, Kimiko, and Frenchie.
You feeling better?
I'm getting there.
MM said, not looking up.
What did you see?
Now is not the time, Butcher.
Frenchie admonished him.
Either he tells us now, or we wait for him to. I'm no therapist, but shouldn't he at least give us an inkling to help the recovery?
Soldier Boy.
Butcher and Frenchie turned to MM. They didn't speak a word, but they knew of his history with Soldier Boy.
I know it was just a dream, but it was worse than any nightmare I've had of that. But everything about it felt so real. I can still see the pieces in my mind every time I close my eyes.
He barely repressed a shudder.
Soldier Boy's dead.
You don't know that. We both know you don't buy that bullshit power plant story.
MM said defensively.
Whatever happened to Soldier Boy, he's not coming back.
I saw Homelander Stormfront and his kid rip you all apart, as well as Janine.
Mother's Milk said as though he was about to enter a panic attack. Butcher nudged Frenchie.
Kimiko, why don't you stay with him?
Kimiko nodded and turned to MM. Butcher and Frenchie left the room.
They can't go out in the field.
No shit.
Don't you get smart on me.
We're not equipped to deal with this city. I should have told you this after we rescued MM.
What would we have done then? Lie low while they hunt us down.
It probably would have gone better for them. They are traumatized.
So what? We just go over to their little clubhouse and bend over.
At this point, I'm willing to take my chances.
All right, fine, you can quit. But tell me something, you really think they won't lock us up once they see our records?
Frenchie was silent.
Exactly. They might not be like the Seven, but they're nothing more than a bunch of Puritans. How well do you think Hughie would do in the slammer?
Frenchie sighed.
We're fucked.
He muttered to himself.
I'll go out. Keep watch over the rest.
Ça ira.
Do you know who else might be making more of Compound V?
Mr. Freeze, you should take Kimiko with you. He's extraordinarily dangerous.
Let me guess. He can freeze people.
Power armor and ice gun. He was a former cryo-engineer trying to cure his wife. There was a lab accident, and he can only live in a sub-zero environment.
Nice sub-story he has going on would make a good movie. Do you know where he might be?
I overheard some of the Penguin's men talking about a rumor that he is operating in an old meatpacking plant in the west side of the city. It's owned by Black Mask, Roman Sionis.
Right. Guess I'll be going over there.
He went back to where the others were.
Right. Listen up. I'll be going off to Mr. Freeze. Frenchie is in charge until I get back.
Hughie's attention was gained as he sat up.
You're going alone?
No, Kimiko's coming with me.
I'm going too.
Everyone looked at Hughie in concern.
Kid.
I'm going with you.
I appreciate it, lad, but you're not in the right state of mind.
I'm over the fear gas, see?
Butcher sighed and turned to Kimiko.
Keep an eye on him.
Butcher told her. Kimiko nodded. Lex Luthor appeared in front of Stan Edgar's desk. Edgar looked up, not so surprised to see Luthor, who was wearing a black suit with a white tie and white vest. Edgar fixed his posture and put on a smile.
Mr. Luthor, surprised to see you. Take a seat.
Luthor sat down and left the green V-24 on Edgar's desk.
The product finally perfected. A dose of V-24 will give anyone superpowers similar to the soups of your world, but only for about 24 hours. It's perfect.
Vaught's scientists predicted some setbacks.
The earlier results caused brain damage, but it wasn't so hard to iron out the kinks. And of course,
Luthor took a brown file out of his jacket and handed it to Edgar.
all your scientists need to make as much as you can.
Edgar's smile slowly vanished. His expression was stoic, trying to keep control.
I trust this deal will come at great cost.
Undoubtedly. I'm planning to come back to your Earth many times. No alien threats, no apocalyptic magical prophecies. You have fertile ground here. Your connections to the government, your knowledge, your information, everything shall be at my disposal when I need it. I will own this world, but you will own not just the greatest company in it. It will be strong, stable, and safe. Is the cost of this deal fair?
Luthor raised his hand for a handshake from Edgar. Stan sighed and firmly shook Lex Luthor's hand. Luthor walked out of the office, and Edgar dialed his phone.
Nadia, I believe we've found an advantage.
Mallory waited outside of her home, having pressed the button that Batman gave to her during his last visit. To pass the time, she participated in some bird watching.
You have agreed to our proposal?
Batman's voice spoke up. She turned and saw him waiting for her.
I'll help you out on one condition.
What is it?
Vought has a soup under their control. It has the ability to literally make heads explode.
I heard about the Senate hearing.
Mallory sighed.
Of course you did. It also killed Susan Rayner. She was basically like a daughter to me.
I'm sorry for your loss.
You find out who the head popper is, and I will tell you and your friends everything. If it's not too much of a challenge, world's greatest detective.
I can handle it.
Good, otherwise you might want to get that chimp I've read about to help you out.
Mallory taunted. Batman's composure was not shaken despite this, and he walked away from Mallory entering a portal. Nightwing was on the roof of the building that the Joker was allegedly using. True to form, it was formerly owned by a candy company before it was bought out by a mysterious benefactor. The police encircled the building. Dick jumped onto the roof of the building and peered through the sky window. It was dark, with only a bit of light shining.
This is too easy, especially from him.
I know it's like he wanted us to know.
Which means it's about something he's done.
Be careful, Dick. Cass and Stephanie are also on the scene.
Barb, it's me, don't worry.
Nightwing told her as he opened the window. He rappelled down to the floor and saw that the light was shining on a birthday present. Nightwing took out his floodlights and shined them around the room. There was nothing else in the room. He slowly, cautiously walked up to the present. On it was a note that read, "Get well soon, Love Jay." Nightwing put on his gas mask and slowly cut open the present to reveal inside the box were medical supplies from Vought.
Why would he have these?
Some kind of joke, obviously, but what's the punchline?
It was there that they both realized what Joker had done.
He's poisoned Vought's pharmaceuticals.
I'm calling Batman now.
Well, what do you know? It looks like the prodigal son has cracked the case.
Joker's voice announced alongside the sound of him clapping.
I take it this is one of your letting us know what you've done stunts?
Seems like the flightless chick really doesn't fall far from the tree. Honestly, I'm going to level with you. I was sort of tied. I even shot a commercial for Vought's new product. Oh, well, guess I can use it when the news breaks.
Nightwing glared. However, he knew how Joker thought. Not as much as Batman, but he knew enough.
Didn't know you were running out of ideas. Poisoning medical supplies seems kind of uninspired for you. I take it you have writer's block?
Joker was silent for a moment.
Good one,
Joker said. Nightwing noticed Joker's laugh seemed fairly forced.
Honestly, kiddo, why are you doing this? We both want Homeboy and his stupid friends to fall. So why don't you just run along off to Bloodhaven and let me pump out my products? Okay?
You killed 60 people last time.
Omelets? Eggs? Now, I've been enjoying this little chat, but it looks like...
He said before getting cut off.
What is it, Harley?
He asked, sounding annoyed. Nightwing could not make out Harley's voice clearly, but he overheard a couple words, they, and speak.
Now, who do those?
Joker said before stopping himself. He likely realized the microphone was still on.
Oh, screw it. I hope you die in there. Bye.
Just then, the ceiling lights were enclosed by metal sheets as Joker toxin began to emit from the floor. Nightwing grappled onto the catwalks.
Barb, can you find the system Joker used to set this up?
I already have.
Oracle said as the metal sheets covering the skylights retracted.
Thanks,
Nightwing said as he got out of the building. A-Train was lying on the hospital bed, glaring at the ceiling as he remembered the turn of events that led to him being there, all while bracing himself in case Homelander showed up. He knew that if the news about his cardiac event broke out, either Homelander would try to humiliate him at best or murder him at worst. Not to mention the fact he dreaded the reaction to his public blowout with the Flash. It was at that moment his phone went off. He slowly reached for it and saw that it was Alistair calling him. He sighed, certainly not the worst.
Hello, Reggie. How are you?
I'm good, sir.
A-Train said, already anticipating the bad news.
We've seen the news about you and the Flash. The Church thinks that it would be best for us to distance ourselves from you at this moment.
For how long?
Until we agree you are no longer a negative personality.
But I'm still in debt. What about that?
You will still have to wait. We've given the Deep a call about his blowout with Aquaman and the vandalism of the Church you failed to prevent.
A-Train caught on to his emphasis of the word you regarding the incident with the Rogues.
You can't pin all of the blame on me for that. The Deep was the one who got his ass kicked by those assholes.
Alistair hung up. A-Train sat motionless in the bed. He heard the door open and saw his brother once more.
How are you feeling?
Like shit, the Church just kicked me out.
I thought you didn't believe in any of that shit.
I don't, but I'm in debt.
How big?
$240,000.
Nathan was taken aback by this. It was obvious he didn't have a response or a solution. That was when Nathan's family walked into the room.
Is everything all right?
Arana, Nathan's wife, asked.
He's in debt 6 figures.
Oh my God. Why don't you go to the Justice League?
They don't have salaries.
Actually, their workers do.
Workers?
Jordan, from down the block, was one of the people who ended up in their world. Apparently, he got a job there.
Well, good for him, because I'm not.
Why don't you spend some time with us, up until you get back on your feet?
Fine by me.
Lex Luthor, still wearing his suit, entered a conference room and walked towards a black table shaped like a skull. Waiting for him at the table, the Reverse Flash himself, Eobard Thawne, the Professor Zoom.
You are early.
As usual.
Luthor sat on the largest chair around the skull table. He put his palms on the tables and the eye holes of the skull lit up.
Presenting the Secret Society of Supervillains.
Dr. Sivana,
said an electronic voice from the table, and one of the chairs was covered by light, and from the light, Dr. Thaddeus Sivana materialized. A small man with pointy ears, bald, and with a rodent smile. His glasses reflected the room almost like mirrors.
Ocean Master,
the voice proceeded. From another light, Ocean Master appeared wearing his purple suit, holding his trident, his face hidden behind a golden mask similar to a sea creature.
Professor Zoom.
I'm here already.
Recalibrating. The brain.
The table announced, and a brain in a skull-like jar appeared in a spot without a chair.
Monsieur Mala.
The voice immediately proceeded, and from the light it brought a gorilla wearing a beret and bullet belt bandolier.
Arquillo.
An alien was teleported before their eyes, an enormous, bulky blue monster with lower fangs and the face of a reptile. His eyes were fearsome.
Who is that?
The brain questioned. His voice was electronic like the table.
Where is Sinestro?
He's working on an out-of-planet issue with the Sinestro Corps. This is Lantern Arquillo. He'll represent his interests in Earth 7. Now business.
A holographic screen presented footage of Black Manta in the ocean, and satellite images of Giganta walking with Bizarro flying next to her.
The fools of the Legion of Doom are soon to strike. The Justice League is clueless about how organized they are.
Weren't you the leader of those fools once?
Ocean Master taunted.
Moving on without me shows they are foolish indeed. That's why we are here. Once this world sees the Justice League breaking a sweat, they will be terrified. Tribalism, paranoia. The people from this universe are tainted to the bones with these feelings. When they are weaker, we'll take over. Silently, of course.
This man, Stanford Edgar.
Sivana said.
How useful can he be?
He's the me from this world. Granted, just like the rest of the doppelgangers, a very pathetic version compared to the real Luthor. But this man has been using the entire American government as a cash cow for over 40 years. He is Vought. Vought has money. Now we have him. And the cost was very low.
You forget! The Justice League! I've seen them face the whole Sinestro Corps. They can stop us!
Not if they don't know what we are doing. The only one with the brains, forgive my language,
Luthor told the brain,
is Batman, and he's busy stopping the hoodlums from his city from smuggling Compound V. And of course, there's always the clown, who refused my invitation to the society.
You invited that maniac to join us?
Monsieur Mallah questioned.
Have you ever heard of Alexander Luthor from Earth 3?
Forgive my companion.
Gentlemen, we have a victory to look forward to. Once the League believes their business in this world is done, even their pale imitation known as the Seven will crumble. And the only company with access to superhumans will be under the Secret Society's power. All their resources, food, power, and energy can be converted in the name of our interests, and we will be a whole world away from any resistance. We have the opportunity to take full advantage of multiversal travel in a way Angstrom Levy and the Maker never could.
A light appeared over Luthor's hand, and a glass of champagne was teleported, falling perfectly into his grasp without spilling a single drop.
A toast to a world without heroes.
A-Train and his brother drank beers in Nate's house. They were watching a Earth 1 TV show called Supernatural. The scene they were watching presented Lucifer making a bunch of angels disappear, and then Archangel Michael fell from the sky dressed as a Western character. Michael had the exact same face as Nathan.
I'm tripping here. That's me.
I don't know why so many people from here are actors on Earth 1. Why does Lil Nas X and people who were presidents or whatever get to be themselves here and there?
And you get to be the star of a bad Shaft movie.
Hey man, the real me was the star of a bunch of great movies.
Deshaun, A-Train's younger nephew, raced through the house wearing a red shirt with Flash's symbol on it while announcing he was the Flash. Kamari, the older nephew, told his brother Green Lantern was cooler. Nathan could see the disappointment on A-Train's face.
They drank the Kool-Aid, huh?
It's not personal, they still love you, but you're just their Uncle Reggie, even with powers and all. The Justice League, there's something out of this world, literally.
Nathan could see this change little of A-Train's feelings.
Plus, they got rid of Blue Hawk. That psycho was terrorizing people for years. Now he's not allowed to do patrols.
Don't give me that self-serving bullshit. You know how they work. No salaries, no sponsors. They're not even a company. They can afford to do shit like this because they have nothing to lose. Most of them have regular jobs when they hang the costumes. Do I have to live like this to have worth as a hero?
Is that why you lost your shit with the Flash?
The boys saw that?
Nah, I managed to keep them out. But Jesus, Reggie, what were you thinking? Your rep was already bad, now you want to start a beef with Flash?
The motherfucker is ruining racing. People are quitting because of him, and all he has to say is, we're not in the same league. You're right, I shouldn't have done that in front of cameras. Still?
He brought you to the hospital, even after you talked to him like that. Honest to God, I'm glad my kids are taking people like these as inspiration. Now that thing you said about them having regular jobs, would that be the end of the world for you? I mean, you won't be running for much longer.
What would I even do? I have no skills besides being a superhero. If I can't beat the Flash, I'll rebrand. I'll stay in the game somehow.
Or you don't. You can just be my pain in the ass little brother Reggie. You may be getting old for running, but you're young enough to go back to school. You sell some properties, you pay your debt, you get some skills for a new job, and you live happily ever after. Maybe even do some TV appearances and capitalize on your old celebrity status. Or
what?
You could go to Earth 1. Jordan said there are lots of jobs there, many companies that don't exist here. Even the air is cleaner, the people are nicer. Maybe if you apologize and get on the league's good side, they can get you something.
And then what?
A-Train asked, very offended.
I do some office shit. Quit running for good and walk past the TV seeing that fucker in his own museum, saving the world and being a nobody. I'm not a nobody. I'm A-Train, and I'm the fucking fastest man alive.
A-Train crushed his bottle and beer and glass fell all over the carpet.
Shit, I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about that.
Back at the Batcave, Alfred went over to Batman as he sat at the Bat computer.
Thank goodness you're back, sir. Master Dick discovered something alarming, and Miss Gordon states she was unable to get to you.
What is it?
The Joker apparently has contaminated Vort's pharmaceuticals.
Bruce's eyes widened before he activated the communicator on his cowl.
Catherine, I need you to contact Stan Edgar or any Vought executive now.
Batman told her urgently.
Why, what's the matter?
Catherine asked, her tone showing obvious concern.
Joker's contaminated Vought's pharmaceuticals. Tell them they need to start a recall now.
I'm on it.
It seems that our problems are becoming theirs.
Alfred lamented.
And ours as well. We need to find a way to neutralize Compound V as safely as possible.
How are things progressing in regards to Homelander's son?
More difficult than expected. Homelander, for all his faults, is capable of emulating a model father.
Batman said, as he opened up footage of the Senate hearing from different angles.
I suppose if one were to not have an ideal parent or childhood, they would do their best to not replicate it on their own blood.
It's likely because of his powers more than anything. If he had no powers he deemed as important in his eyes, he would not be so devoted. He's a malignant narcissist. Being a good parent is only a facade to them, nothing more. To him, Ryan's another Homelander.
Alfred noted the disgust in Bruce's tone.
That's a level of scorn that only the Joker could elicit from you, sir.
I'm aware of that, Alfred. He's a twisted insult to Clark and everything he stands for. Everything Luthor ever accused Superman of being is embodied by Homelander.
I cannot say I disagree with you on that front. After overhearing Miss Butcher's report of how his son was conceived, my sympathy towards Homelander evaporated at that moment. It makes us feel our world will forever be indebted to Jonathan and Martha Kent.
Any news about Butcher?
Master Dick stated that he and his gang were found captured by the Scarecrow. They likely attempted to destroy Dr. Crane's lab.
Were any of them exposed to Scarecrow's fear toxin?
According to Miss Stephanie, half were exposed. Mr. Campbell, Mr. Milk, and Miss January were locked in chambers exposing them to it.
Butcher's likely operating at half force.
You really think he would go out after that disaster?
I've followed his escapades. He's motivated by hatred and is extraordinarily reckless. The man was willing to kill a baby just to get at Homelander, and even drove a boat through a whale just to escape.
Alfred's usually unflappable manner was replaced by one of confusion.
That last one is a rather new story for me, sir. You don't suppose he didn't see the whale?
Batman turned on the news from Earth 7 to find any potential leads. It was there that he noticed one of the headliners. Gunpowder was believed to have been abducted.
Gunpowder? Wasn't that one on your list?
Yes, it looks like Waller got to him first.
I take it she has an interest in Soldier Boy.
Yes, she likely wants whatever was used against him in 1984, or to replicate him, if he's even dead in the first place.
Well, hopefully she's not recruiting him for his singing abilities, a term I use very loosely. Master Timothy apologized as I am no longer the worst vocalist he's heard after watching his performance, if one could call it that.
Batman turned on the footage of the Congress hearing regarding Vought from all possible angles.
Thank you for the information, Alfred. I'd recommend you leave now.
Batman warned Alfred.
I shall do so now,
Alfred said as he walked away from the terminal. Batman examined the footage of the attack. Despite the chaotic carnage, Batman was able to piece something together. He had a theory regarding the nature of the attacker's power. The attacker was likely a telekinetic. That was likely why the heads were exploding. So that meant the killer had to be in the same vicinity. That also meant they had to look at their victim. It was there that Batman noticed throughout all the chaos only one person had an eye on the victims. Victoria Newman.